Yes. Okay. So that's a good question about some intermediate students last year. And due to COVID, we weren't able to do the color pencil projects and some of the pen and ink lessons. So yes. So as those students, if you're an intermediate, but you feel like you're good enough to go advanced, but you don't have some of those, we will definitely revisit some color pencil lessons, some pen and ink lessons that you might have missed in the spring last year. And Ray Lawrence, will lessons be the same as last year? Yes, if you pick the same level, yes. If you pick a different level, no, they'll change.
How do they know what level to pick?
So that's, okay, so that's sometimes hard for people. Again, so beginners is no skills. You've never drawn before, and if someone asked you, can you draw, you would say no. That's a beginner level. Intermediates are for those students who feel like they can draw from a picture. They can draw a cat, they can draw a car, they can draw a person, okay? But maybe they've never done backgrounds, or they've never worked with color pencils or watercolors or pen and ink, so they've never expanded their art. So that would be an intermediate student. And then advanced students are those who feel real comfortable with art and can really, you know, draw very large 20 by 16 pieces of work and do all kinds of beautiful work and express themselves. So again, you know, choose a level you think you're comfortable with. I've had students who are pretty good at art, but they choose beginner at the beginning of the class, and after a couple weeks, they're like, okay, it's not as hard as I thought, and then they bump themselves up to intermediate. I've also had students who pick advanced or intermediate, and then they get poor grades on their assignments because their skill levels, their basic skill levels, aren't to the point where they can express themselves through their art yet. So they bump themselves back down to beginner, or if they went from advanced to intermediate. And again, there's no penalty, you know, just because you chose the wrong, it won't affect your overall grade. I want you guys to get to the level you want to be. I want you to get the skills you want and come out, you know, get the art out for that. So,
hey, Tully, it's Mr.
Yeah.
Richardson here. Appreciate everybody asking really good questions right now. I will ask you for a really quick summary. You went over it right in the beginning, maybe a quick 2-minute summary, just so we can get on video, because I think it's important. The difference between beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And then we'll see if there's any other questions and potentially wrap things up.
Okay. All right. So again, beginning level, 0 skills, never drawn before, not comfortable with drawing, maybe just taking this class as a requirement to graduate. Intermediate, those who can reproduce from a photo or from real life. You know, they can draw a shoe, they can draw a cat, but just never done backgrounds, full pictures. And then advanced students, those who are very, very comfortable expressing themselves. They know multimedia, which means different media, color pencils, watercolor, acrylics, charcoal, pen and ink. And then again, the 4th level, the alternative art, are those students with very different needs, very special needs, that do creative art and more expressive art to get their emotions down. So those are the primary 3 levels, and then a 4th level for those students who need a little extra help. Okay. And again, it's students pick, and the beginners, very rote, very strict lessons and projects, not very much creativity at all, because you're just learning the skills to be able to reproduce a picture. Intermediate, a lot more emphasis on creativity, on self-expression, on, again, when you create a picture, it's not just here's a cat, it's got to be here's a cat and they're very sad, and because they're sad because the world is whatever, and so it's telling a story with your art. So creativity is a high priority in intermediate. And advanced students, again, self-driven. A lot of students like to do manga or Japanese anime art, and they really want to get good at creating characters, so that's what they work on all year. Some students like to work on acrylic paints and watercolor paints, something we don't work on in intermediates, and they want to explore different media. So advanced students are very self-driven, and I will guide and help you get to where you want to be.
Tully, I saw one question from Amber. Are you looking for more realistic art? What type of art are you looking for? Does it depend on the project, and will it be graded based on the style?
Okay, So in order to draw well stylistically, so like in order to draw comic book superheroes or manga art or some cartoon art, you have to have a base in realism. You have to be able to, all these artists that draw all the awesome comic book art that I love and the animation that I love, they can all draw a perfect rendering of their dog or of their niece or of their daughter. They can draw realistically. So you have to have a realistic base in order to create really good stylized and creative art. So if you're that, if you can draw comic book and manga art, you don't need to show me you can draw realistically, okay? But if your comic art is just, is off, it doesn't look quite as good as you'd like, then we might have to go back and revisit some realism, so that way the techniques in your base will get strengthened, so that way you can stylize better and better tell your story through creative stylized cartoon art. Does that make sense? So it'll depend on what level you have. Again, beginners are very realistic, very not creative at all. You're just reproducing pictures. Intermediate, you have a little bit more flexibility, but there's still a lot of realism that you have to show that you master and control of. So I hope I answered that question. If I didn't, ask, you can ask to clarify if I didn't answer that question correctly.
I don't see any other questions that you haven't answered.
Oh, okay, so yeah, all the levels are in one class. What I'm hoping to do is have breakout rooms. So like one breakout room would be for beginners, one breakout room would be for intermediates, and one breakout room would be for advanced, and then another one for alternative. That way, if I'm giving a lesson to beginners, the intermediates and advanced students can just continue working on whatever project they're working on, and they don't have to listen to the beginner lesson. And same with when an intermediate lesson is, beginners don't have to worry about listening to that. So I'm working on creating a breakout rooms so that you can, whenever you pick your level, we meet as a group first like this, where at the beginning of the class I take roll, we kind of get class going, and then we'll go to our breakout rooms. So that's my goal. I'm not the most tech friendly guy, so I'm learning sometimes just as much as you guys are. Oh, okay, progress pictures. I'm not asking specifically for progress pictures, but I think that's a good way to, if we have office hours and we have lots of time where I'm not going to be giving lessons, we're just going to be in class. So I would love if you showed me your progress. That way, maybe I could give you some tips or hints, or maybe you run into a problem area and I could help you with that. That would be kind of awesome. So I'm not asking, you're not going to get graded for progress pictures, but I would love to see them. I'd love to see the progression, and that way I can kind of guide and help. Ooh, question about 2D animation programs. You know what? I will, man, goodness. There's got to be some free software out there to animate. So let me look into that over the week, and hopefully we can maybe hook you up with something. I don't know about the software. I know we can't purchase software because that would be expensive to give everyone, but there's got to be some kind of free programs that you can download. So I will look into that. Okay. That was for Holden. First project will begin next week, depending on when you have the class, Monday or Tuesday. And whatever paper you have, you can use. If you have good drawing paper, please use it. If you just have lined notebook paper, you can use that. Okay, good question about difference between drawing and illustration classes. Not anymore. Back in the old days when puppies were the oldest animals, drawing used to be the beginning class and illustration was the advanced class. But because funding and we've lost, teachers, so now they're both basically the same, and that's why all three levels are in the same class. And the reason that there's two different names is that some students really like art, so they want to take two drawing classes in the same term, and you can't take the same class twice. So now you can take a drawing class, illustration class in the same term, so you have, two classes of art instead of just one. For Kendall, nope, you can, as an advanced student, you can do whatever. If you want to just do realistic value black and white art with pencil, That's all you have to do. You just have to show me that you're going to, you know, get better and better. I don't want you to just get stagnant and just do one thing, you know, explore some background, maybe explore charcoal if you like, since it's a really good way to shade and show value contrast. But no, you can just really get good at the media and style of your choice. So really good questions, you guys. Very impressive. Anything else? And yeah, we'll look into the 2D. I'm gonna have to get more tech savvy. Apologize in advance because I'm not. So I see a lot of, Austin, you working out? Good, excellent, excellent.
Do I look bigger just from the?
Just from the little screen of you, yes, you look huge. You feel the whole
Okay,
screen.
thank you. It's really hard I had to get like a fisheye lens and
Gotcha.
magnify it outwards to
Gotcha.
fit my hulking frame. But thank you for
Okay.
noticing.
You're looking huge. So
Thank you.
and okay. Yeah. Yes. So for the meeting link, when you go to your Google Classroom and you should have been invited already and have it in there. So you just click it and there's a Google Meet link and you just click that and it will open as soon as, you can't get into it before I get into it. As soon as I get into it, then the class will start. Oh, also, if you're in the illustration class, right now, hopefully the technology will fix, but right now, your Google Meet link is in the first stream box. It's not in the top. You can't see the illustration Google Meet link because I'm going to tie you guys into the drawing class. That way, I don't have to have two different computers at the same time. And if that's, I hope that makes sense. But if you go to your Google Classroom and illustration, you'll see your Google Meet link in the first stream box. And then you go to that link and that will kick you into the drawing class. So that way all of us are in one class. Okay, to submit a drawing, you'll take a picture of it and then attach it to your Google Classroom email. And you should be able to take a picture with either your computer or your phone. Walter, I did not cover it. Depending on what level you are, if you're a beginner, this is a question about supplies. If you're a beginner, all you need is a number 2 graphite pencil and an eraser, like a Pink Pro eraser. I use mechanical pencils, 0.5 HB, because HB is right in the middle. It's soft and hard, and I don't ever have to sharpen it because it's mechanical. So that's my preference. I also use white plastic erasers because they tend to clean better than the pink pearls. But just a pencil and eraser is fine for beginners. Intermediates, again, pencil and eraser are fine. If you can get some color pencils, that would be awesome. Again, I'm working on distributing supplies to people. We're trying to figure out how to get supplies. So if you're an intermediate, hopefully maybe it'll get you some color pencils. And again, the same with ink pens. You know, obviously, if you don't have access to those supplies, you're never, ever going to get graded down or get a 0 on a project because you don't have the supplies. That's not what we're here for. We're here to teach you guys art and get you to learn not to penalize you because you don't have access to certain things. So that would never happen. But if you can get it, that would be awesome. And again, we're working on trying to distribute some supplies to people. But pencil and eraser, those are the main things. And then if you have access to art supplies, color pencils, charcoal, pen and ink, those are good things to have. Yeah, okay, so Amber likes the 07. Those are good. A little bit thick for me. I go with the 05 just because it's a little bit finer. But the 07 is fantastic. That's awesome. Ray, you know how I feel about Crayolas, okay? But if you want to use Crayolas, that's awesome. A lot of people love Crayolas. But, you know, I'm a little bit, I'm biased toward the Prismacolors. But no, Crayolas are fine. Crayolas are fine. Okay, that's good. We're going to work with that. I'll just have to, Crayolas, they're less waxy, so I'll have to show you a little bit different technique on blending with those, okay? That's all. But yeah, Crayolas are fine. Austin, no. You can't draw on a whiteboard. Well, you can, but you're sketching. You're not really creating values. Yes, they're simple line drawings. They're not going to help us. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. Oh, goodness. And it begins.
If you don't have any more questions, feel free to log off. This was just an opportunity for you to meet Telly if you had never met him, and just to come together as a class and to ask questions and be ready for next week when school starts. So if you don't have any other questions, feel free to log off. If you still have some questions, feel free to type them in the chat.
Hey, Brent, how you doing? Kifa, how you doing? Ray, what do you want to do, Ray? Welcome, Amy. Kifa. Hey, Lillian. Look at all these people. Kennedy, nice. Didn't get to see her. So many kids, but yes, thank you. Male chess. Okay. See you later, Lillian. Ella Hutchinson, hi. Oh, you're saying hi to Brooklyn. Never mind. That's funny. Okay, Ray, what do you mean? Like for your character, for comic book, like manga characters? You're killing me, Ray. No, you didn't. What if you don't, Brent Waddell, what if you don't like to draw? Again, you're probably taking this class as a requirement to graduate, so try to have fun with it. Go to beginner's level, and I will show you, and by the time the class is over, you're going to be able to draw a little bit. You're welcome, Adam. You'll be, Brent, all you have to do is work. It just takes work. Okay. What do you get stuck on, Ray? Is it the whole, is this just the chest now? Okay, hold on here. I can't see my camera. Can you see this, Ray? Can you see my sketchbook? Walter McNaughton, what style of drawing pad do you recommend? I like Statler, but any drawing pad with good, pretty heavy paper is good. So any kind of paper you like. So you can see my drawing pad? Okay. Can you see, Ray, can you see this? Can you see that circle?
A little bit. It's kind of far away, but a little bit.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. All right. So, can we see that stick figure, Ray? Okay. So the neck, right? So you have the neck, then you have the trapezius muscles, little triangles there, right? Now shoulders, you can either use like triangles or circles, either one, whatever you feel most comfortable, okay? So the deltoid shoulders, you can use circles. Now, the chest, you have your clavicles, okay? Clavicle bones right there. Then you have your chest separation in the middle, okay? Then you have the insertion lines from your shoulders and your chest right there. That's where the shoulder muscles insert into the shoulder, okay? Your chest and shoulders go. And then, so then it's just a curve. Now this guy bench presses about 400 pounds, so it's huge. So if your guy isn't as strong, then the chest muscle is smaller. But that's the chest muscle. Then you have some striations in the middle. Okay? And then you have your abdominals that start here, 2 small ones. And then you finish the 6-pack. And then your belly button. Okay? And then you have your serratus ribs. Okay? And your biceps. Okay? that help, Ray? Yes, Austin, kind of looks like you, absolutely. Kyson, nice call. All right. All right, you guys, anything else? You guys are all good?
One last thing though, Telly.
Absolutely. What's up, Ash?
Stay safe.
Yep, you too, definitely. Can I draw Spider-Man? Let's see if I can. I don't know. We'll see.
Do it.
Okay, who's that? It's Greco Romero. Here we go.
Did you just call him Bub Austin? Seriously?
Different guy, not me. Trust me.
Doesn't look like it. Do we email you to get into a certain level?
No, just you're gonna pick it when we get the breakout rooms.
Yeah, you just pick a level. Like, I'm gonna go into beginner just to piss off Telly.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, just go into beginner. Everyone go into beginner just to piss off Telly.
Cool. You're gonna get
Gosh, no.
Beginners rise up. Beginners rise up.
Let's go! No, Telly forced me into advanced. I wanted to go into intermediate, and he goes,
Best idea. Everybody go to beginner.
let's do
No.
it.
Hey, I'm back. What
I
I
don't
miss?
want to do beginner again.
Kiva's like, I want all F.
Greco, there's Spider-Man. Quick rendition.
Nice.
That's actually pretty cool.
Man, Telly's a really good artist.
All right, you guys.
I mean, why else would he be an art teacher?
Who knows? All right, you guys have a great day, okay?
You too, Telly.
All right.
Thanks, Ellie.
Telly.
Farewell.
Watch Ellie.
Good day.
Bye.
Bye.